Ollie, chill. My bad. I just need the control, dude. I can put it up on here. So how's working there, dude?
Working there is pretty fun. It's a pretty fun environment.
Yeah.
Most of the trainers and coaches that work there get along, and you're always like learning something new from those said trainers and coaches, and even some of the clients. So like
As in like teaching you too? Or
yeah, no, I think
are you guys all collab and like sharing information?
I wouldn't say like everyone collabs, but well, I would say like a good amount of trainers there, like they do a pretty good job of like bouncing ideas off each other, or sometimes those trainers and coaches actually help other like trainers and coaches like excel with their business.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though. I don't think I've ever been to that gym specifically. I've been to pretty much every other one, but not that one. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
This is expensive, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, self-made, it depends on what coach or trainer that you hire. So, I mean, obviously, like each coach or trainer will charge a different price. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go to bed. But what about the gym itself?
As far as like what, like atmosphere?
No, like the price, dude. Because you said each trainer has their own price, right?
Yeah, each trainer has his own price. That gym, I think like sometime last year they made it more semi-private.
Mm-hmm.
So so now it's like $250 a month, like month to month. If you want to just go in there and train by yourself,
250.
$250 a month. It's like almost like an Equinox, right?
What the
like,
fuck?
Yeah.
Is it because there's a lot of content creators, or what's the deal with that?
No, not the one that I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, like trainers do their job as far as posting on social media. But no, I think the reason why is because it originally is like a private gym. If you're going to self-made, you're looking for a trainer or coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of independent contractors that train their clients there, right?
So I guess the company's kind of boosting for people
to build their business,
yeah,
right?
to get trainers, right?
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it is.
That was a trip. I was like, 250 a month is crazy. I was trying to find a boxing gym, and even boxing prices are crazy right now too.
Expensive.
Yeah,
it's pretty expensive, bro.
I did a couple classes, and they were gonna give me like a discount, EMS discount, and all this other stuff, right? It was still pricey, dude. It was still coming out to like 130 something like that a month. I'm just like,
sounds about right.
It's cheaper than a lot of other spots, for a boxing gym. But dude, I was gonna have to drive all the way to like Newport almost every day from here.
Yeah,
it was pretty far.
There's no like boxing gyms in Long Beach.
There is. They're just expensive.
Okay,
yeah, I think they're like $60 a class or something like that. I'm just like, that's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, sounds about right, bro.
Yeah,
a lot of like fitness professionals. Honestly, bro, like it's almost like you kind of had to. You know what I mean? I mean, you are responsible for that person's health to a certain degree. So
yeah.
There's a lot of things that you take in consideration. So I understand why some fitness professionals charge like a buttload of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I get it, fitness, at least coaches, right? But
Right.
The gym itself, I'm just like, I don't know, dude. The equipment always gets old after a while, and then they don't decrease their prices when it gets old, right? Or when it gets broken, or when it gets used.
No, I feel like once they have a set price, and they reach a certain amount of, let's say, clientele or members, etc., and the value like builds up, you're for sure always ramping up, your prices, especially the more valuable you become.
Yeah. Before we get started, I'm gonna adjust one more thing. I just saw it, so we still haven't gotten started. We're just chit chatting a little bit. Make it as good as possible.
Yeah.
The pillows really do help, by the way, because this couch is not the best. You know, this is my casting couch.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Bro, all right. Sitting on someone's babies right now. Bro.
many, my kids. All right. Anyways, we're gonna get started with the podcast here with the intro song. This is not really the intro song. It's just what came with the device. So I just keep clicking it and so be it. You know what I mean? But everybody, welcome back. Amazing listeners to another episode of Cisco's podcast. This is episode number, 13, 14. I don't know. One of those. I'm your host, Cisco. And today we've got a fantastic show lined up for you guys today. But before we dive into the action, a quick shout out to our incredible audience. Once again, we've reached 200,000 views already across all platforms. Instagram, for some reason, one of the videos blew up. We got 24,000 views on that video. I don't know why. We just did. We are about to reach 200 subscribers. So a big shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much, for reals. Honestly, I appreciate it. We're almost there. Next go out to 200 is gonna be 250, then hopefully 500 after that. But we are at like 175, something like that. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all the support. Do you watch the podcast? Have you watched at least one clip?
On Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it. What do you think about it? What do you think of it? Like just looking at that, the visual, everything.
Honestly, content like that one I'd say I don't have too much of an idea on. However, at least when I look at it initially, I just see that you guys are on the come up. You know what I mean? Like this is like more like the kind of like the grinding phase of it.
Yeah.
So I already know like when as you continue to put more hours in, you know, day by day, getting more people like to actually interview. Yeah. I already know it's gonna blow up.
Yeah. And honestly, that's what I kind of feel like it is right now. It does feel like it's the come up. If you see a lot of the other podcasts, it's just a mix of variety of topics and trends and stuff like that. That's really what it is. That's what I'm trying to do. Just to kind of find where I want to kind of just place myself at. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I really like the fitness stuff. Oh, bring this forward so you can be closer to you. I really like the fitness stuff, you know. However, I feel like it's tough. And I've said this before, it's tough to get people on the show. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to come up on here, just fucking yap my mouth off all day, but it's tough to get people on the show. And figuring out topics every day is a little tough too.
I bet.
But yeah, man, this is the come up. Hopefully, if you guys want to stay tuned, subscribe. If you guys cannot watch a full podcast, I know it's really long. Sometimes it's about 2 hours long. If you can't watch the full podcast, dude, I post clips of the highlights of the show on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And even if you can't watch it on there, it's all right? It's okay if you can't watch, dude, because we have Spotify as well for Audible listeners. If you're at work, if you're driving, you know, you can listen in on your headphones or whatever the case may be. So I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe, follow, and etc. Man. We didn't reach the goal that I wanted for 100 likes on the past video. But it's all right, dude. We got 10 likes. That's all that takes, you know what I mean? On the podcast. But yeah. Now let's jump into the heart of today's episode. I'm thrilled to introduce our special guest, a powerhouse in the fitness world. What's the gym membership you work for?
Self-made.
It's not Swift, huh?
Swift? No.
The M kind of looks like a W. And so I call it Swift. It's SWFT. I was like Taylor Swift, you know?
This guy.
You know, Kansas City Chiefs, you know what I mean? But it's self-made.
It's self-made training facility.
Okay. Everybody, welcome the man. I know him as DC. You guys don't want to know what that stands for, but you might know him as John Clement, the strength and conditioning coach from Self-Made Training Facility in Orange County. John Clement, say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, no problem. This is a crazy experience, man. I met you freaking 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah.
He Cisco actually pledged for the fraternity that we were actually in.
Yeah. Yeah, and even back then, dude, you were looking a little small, so it's kind of crazy. I'm just kidding. Dude, this guy was massive back in the day. Hey, tell me why. Joe, you know Joe,
yes,
right?
I do. Yeah.
Tell me why. We were talking about it. We were looking through your photos back when I was living in downtown LA, right?
Yeah.
We were looking through your photos, and we're like, tell me why I thought he was big back then when we first met you, and now you look fucking huge, bro. We're like, what the heck? Like, that was crazy. In our head, we're like, dude, he looked big then, but now we're like, yeah, he definitely looks big. Like, with those shit.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because, I say back like when we were actually in college, I was still hitting the gym and I had my set routine, but it wasn't until, bro, I moved back to Orange County and I started learning a little bit more about fitness and. I'd say connecting with just different individuals that like were a lot more experienced than I was. That I was able to take that, apply to myself, and yeah, honestly, bro, like just kind of blew up.
That's really cool, dude. Yeah. And that's what this podcast I'm trying to make that for, just to share some information. Me myself, I feel like I've been through a lot of like a journey. Through, I wouldn't say just gym, I just health and fitness. For me, I remember I was vegan for about 3 years, then vegetarian for 2 years. Dude, I went from like 200 and something pounds down to 159. Everybody was calling me saying that I look anorexic and blah, blah, blah. But to me, I felt healthy, But at a certain point, I was just like, yeah, I feel like maybe I was too skinny. I need to put on some muscle mass. Then I went to Kansas, dude, and fuck, dude, I ate like fucking crazy, dude. I don't know if it's the air, the oxygen there, but I felt like I grew in size then. Even being a firefighter, using muscles that I never thought. Like my neck, I feel my neck got thicker. And it's from carrying all that weight on your head and shit. So, yeah, dude, it's crazy. And I hope we can share some information. You guys catch some clips on that too, and make some videos go viral. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Bro. Yeah. Where can they catch you on? Share your social media links.
Yeah, so if you guys want to find me on Instagram, you just go MR_ get your vitamin DC. I know, right? And same thing goes for TikTok as well.
It's not the gravity one.
The gravity one?
Yeah.
What gravity one, bro?
Is it like Mr. Gravity or no?
No, who the hell is that?
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I swear. Wait, pull it up on your phone. Your Instagram. You know what? Maybe it does says get your vitamin, but I think I read it gravity.
Yeah, you probably read it wrong, bro. Dude, that's completely different.
Yeah, it looked like gravity.
It does not look like gravity at all. Yo,
I'm dyslexic, bro. My bad. I was reading it differently. Okay, so yeah, Mr. _ get ya YA vitamin DC. Do you want to tell them what DC stands for?
We can say that until after. I'll build some report until I announce that.
We'll do. Yeah. All right. Let's get started with the first topic. Let's see. First up, the discussion is about latest fitness trends and tips for our audience. What are some key aspects of strength and conditioning that everyone should know?
Well, as far as like latest trends, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't really keep up with the trends too much. I will say, I think one thing I've noticed about like at least in the fitness space is I think everyone's really trying to get results extremely fast.
Yeah.
And they don't really enjoy the process as much. So, when it comes to being like a strength and conditioning coach, like my job is to focus on like physical performance, and that be via like focusing on strength, let's say muscle endurance, HIIT, some type of like aerobic training, etc. So I can actually go ahead and increase that client's, physical performance.
Yeah.
A byproduct of that would be how like, them building lean muscle mass in the process. You know what I mean? So me personally, like when I'm training my clients at Self-Made, it's really just trying to get them to feel good, bro. Get them to feel good, get them to feel strong. Increase their performance, and like I said before, a byproduct of that would just be developing like their physique, like
their goal, right, of what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, like a lot of people get kind of like really caught up in the aesthetics, and I get it, honestly, bro. Like we all,
that's me, right? Yeah.
Like we all want to look good.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's funny thing is when I'm doing consultations, a lot of people will say like, "Hey, man, like I want to look good naked," And honestly, I get it. You know what I mean? Like you want to feel confident in your own skin.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think people just kind of push that a little bit too much, where it's like, hey man, like I just need to look good at the cost of your health.
Yeah.
And so I had to make sure that when I'm doing the consultation that I really like choose my words carefully. And I try to get them to see like, hey man, like it's not all about the aesthetics. You also got to feel great too. Like, you know, like, are you sleeping well? Do you have an appetite? You know, is your sex drive up? You know, stuff like that, right? This guy's like, no.
That's talking about that. Sponsored by Blue Chew. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that stuff really, really works.
Does it? I never tried it.
Yeah, that stuff really works. Yeah, no, 100%.
So now you know, dude. If
you guys know,
you're trying to gym hard, take some Blue Chew right before.
Take some Blue Chew, 100%. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd probably say.
Yeah,
for sure.
Tell them your background. Tell them your background. Like, what got you to where you're at right now? Like, what do you do? Who is it that you are? You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, why are you able to speak about all this knowledge that you have?
So my story started back in high school. So in high school, I went to St. John Bosco. I never really lifted weights before.
You went to Bosco?
I went to Bosco, bro. Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's all about Warren High, dude.
What the hell is Warren High?
Warren High School?
What is that?
In Downey?
I don't know. I don't know them. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, dude,
people know Bosco. Apparently,
we beat you like once in basketball.
One time.
Yeah,
one time.
John Bosco is what? Isn't it like a private school or something like that?
Private, yeah. It's
is it
Bellflower.
Religious though, right?
Yeah, Catholic school.
Catholic school. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you're Catholic?
No. I'd say I'm more Christian, if anything.
Okay.
It actually used to be a boarding school like back in the day.
Oh, it was. Yeah. But they say that the sports team there are like probably like one of the best. Yeah.
I haven't been to Bosco in a long time, but they definitely came up, let's say like in, I think football, they had like a really good lacrosse team.
Yeah.
When I was there, like their wrestling team and cross country team dominated.
Yeah.
Dominated, bro.
Yeah, they're really good usually.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I didn't know you went there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah. But yeah, like no, I started learning how to lift weights in high school. And my PE teacher, he took us all the guys like that were in the class, took us to the gym, showed us actually like how to actually work out, told us like not to mess around because we could actually get injured.
Yeah.
It was my first time benching. So, you know, a barbell and a 10 on each side looks like nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And so when I tried to bench press 65 pounds, dude, I could not do it. Like for the life of me, honestly, bro, cannot get it off my chest whatsoever.
Damn.
And when, you know, my friends had to like, help the weight off me.
Yeah.
I just got this feeling of just humiliation, feeling weak. I was extremely embarrassed, you know what I mean? And I never wanted to feel that way ever again.
What was your body type then?
I would say I was more on the skinny side, bro.
Skinny?
Yeah, 100%. For me, like I said, I never really like lifted weights.
Yeah.
And so, but I just maintained like just more of like a skinny, maybe like a little bit lean physique.
Yeah.
But that was a rude awakening, bro. Like after I got up off the bench and I just looked around, like there were guys that were easily like they were bench pressing like 95 pounds, let's say 115 at my age group, you know what I mean? So it made me feel extremely inferior.
Was this like your freshman year?
This was freshman year, bro.
Yeah.
And so that's when I think everything changed. I think I became super hungry as far as not wanting to look weak and not wanting to be weak. And so, dude, 5 times a week, I was in the gym. I was just working out. I would actually ask other guys in the gym like that I really didn't know. I'm like, hey man, you look pretty built. Can I just follow along what you're doing? I won't bother you. And they'd be like, yeah man, for sure, hop in, jump in. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it was upper body every day. It was upper body every day, all day, bro. And yeah, dude, honestly, I'd say like junior year is when I noticed how big I got compared to freshman year.
I thought you were gonna say compared to your lower body.
Yeah, honestly, bro, like, dude, it sucks because I wish I knew what I wish I had the knowledge that I know now. But
yeah,
I was just obsessed with just getting my chest bigger, back bigger, arms bigger, but not really working on the legs.
Yeah,
and obviously that shot me in the foot. When it came to lifting years later.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? So. but that's actually where it stems from. So like body dysmorphia became a thing, just like, like, all right, I just feel like I'm never good enough.
Yeah. I have that too, man. It sucks, dude, because I tell my girlfriend all the time, I'm like, damn, I don't think I look good, Every time she's like, dude, you look fine. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, nah, like I don't like that. I don't like what I see. You know what I mean? And then sometimes when I'm gymming and I got a good pump, I'm like, that's what I want to see all the time, but I don't, it sucks, dude. It sucks.
The crazy thing about when you lift weights and you get the pump and you're like, bro, like that's what I want to look. The crazy thing about it is you're actually not that far off from looking like that.
Really?
Yeah, actually, like I kid you not. So like if you're doing certain things, which we can probably dive into like a little bit later, you can actually attain that, bro. Obviously, it just takes like a little more consistency and some discipline. But you can definitely achieve it. It's like it's not that hard. Yeah, at times it can be hard, but as long as you don't give up, I mean, you'll get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough though. It is tough. I feel like I've been dealing with that like a long time, dude. Growing up, do you have some Hispanic friends, some Mexican friends?
Yeah, I mean, do you remember like freaking
I mean, our whole fraternity was like half of it was like
that's
Mexican,
what I'm saying, right? Ours and DDT. You know what I mean? Like majority of the members were Hispanic.
Yeah.
So,
well, growing up in a household like that, Mexicans, traditional Mexicans from actual Mexico and shit. My dad, my mom, my siblings would like fucking tease me. They would pick on me and call me fat, fucking pinch my nipples and shit. And I think that's where it stems from. Just at my household, I didn't feel safe, and I didn't like how I looked because others would tease me. And then eventually it got to the point where it's just always in the back of my head. And I think that's where body dysmorphia came from for me. And that's why I go to the extremes. Like, for example, now I'm just eating normally and I don't look like how I look. But in my head, the way I can achieve the goal that I want, I have to go to the extremes, such as when I went vegan, I went straight from just living my normal life to just one day waking up and being like, I'm going vegan. And then I stopped eating everything. All I would eat is just vegetables and shit like that, Same thing with vegetarian. And then I did the same thing with like liquid dieting and shit like that. It was just so bad. So I don't know. It's tough, dude. It's tough, man.
Right. So you can take your story for an example. So a lot of people, anyone that's watching right now, and anyone that will watch a little bit later, a lot of people go through the exact same thing that you're going through. They feel a sense of insecurity and not feeling confident in their body, and they'll go through to the extreme. Vegan, for instance, vegetarian, it could be carnivore, it could be keto, to lose the weight.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is not enough people that are saying, hey, bro, you don't need to go that route. Because keep in mind, the reason why, if it worked, you'd still be doing it. You get me? Like the diets that you can actually do long time, like for a long time, and keep it that way, are the ones that you should probably adhere to. But if you can't keep that long term, don't do it. So like anyone, like let's say for anyone that's like an omnivore, for instance, and they were like, hey man, for me to lose weight, I want to go ahead and be a vegetarian, or I want to go ahead and be a vegan.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of losing weight, I think it's a horrible, horrible idea. There's certain adjustments you can make that will actually fit more into your lifestyle, that are sustainable, and that you can do for a long time.
I see.
You know what I mean? So because you yo-yo dieted quite a few times with different types of fad diets, there might even be a possibility that let's say your metabolism isn't working the way you want it to. And that's the reason why like you're actually not able to like lose the weight that you actually want.
That's how I feel like it is right now for me.
Right.
Once again, everything changed when I joined the fire department. I started eating whatever they were eating because we all ate together, cooked together. We trained together. We trained hard as fuck. I stopped doing the bad habits that I had from there, which was a lot of caffeine, staying up like super, super fucking late, like random times, not getting enough sleep.
Right.
So I stopped those bad habits, but I think the eating part to me is still not terrible, but it's still there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think what you said right there is where my metabolism is not working the way I want it to. That's what I feel like it's happening to me, because I just, no matter if I stay consistent for like a week, 2 weeks, and I'm like eating good, tracking my macros, all that stuff, going to the gym, doing cardio, you know, it's still not like burning fat the way I want it to. The size, I feel like the size that I am now, I want to stay the size.
Okay.
I just want to lose the fat. Is what I don't like the fat. And even like I can lift heavy weight right now, which I like too, but it's the fat. I don't like the way I look in the mirror and shit like that. That's just the bottom line. But I think it is the metabolism. I'm not sure. I was looking on social media. They were talking about something about like bacteria in your gut that's probably like messing up your metabolism, stuff like that. But I don't know if it's true. It can be bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing I think is a problem with, I'd say, for fitness, or like at least in the fitness space, is that unfortunately you have a lot of people that are misinforming the general public about certain things. So me personally, even I don't know if that's even true. I will say, because like I said before, because of the amount of yo-yo dieting you have done, that has for sure messed up your metabolism. And there is a way for you to like I guess you could say restore that metabolism. But that's just a very like slow process. Or that can be a slow process. Honestly, it just depends on your body. Some people, like, it can respond, let's say, in a couple months. Other people, bro, no lie, it could take a full on year.
Shit.
It could take a full on, like I said, everyone's body is different. So there's certain like protocols you can take to get it to where you actually need it to be. But it's also like making sure that you're looking at the small wins.
Okay.
Like I told you before, like, hey, well, did your appetite increase? Did you get stronger? Did your sex drive, like, go up? Are you less tired? Stuff like that. That means that it's working. Like, obviously just not at the rate that you're going to want it to, but that means it does work. You know what I mean? And I think, unfortunately, as a population, I think we're very, very accustomed to achieving things, or we want to achieve things extremely, extremely fast.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a process. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get this strong, in a couple of months. Yeah. It probably took you like years. You know what I mean? Like, to build that level of strength.
Yeah, from when I started gymming. From when you started until where you are now. It was probably like 2016 is when I actually started to try to go to the gym. Right. Like, dedicate myself to it. And not till now is where I see like the huge fucking progress that I made over time, So yeah, it took a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think if you can apply it with the dieting as well, then you'll definitely get to your goal. So like, I mean, if anything, bro, like if you need help with that, just let me know. At least that way we can set you up with the plan as far as what like the next steps you can actually take. Yeah. Take them. Like I said, it could take a while, but as long as you like, bro, like if you look like the way you want to look, no matter how long it took, you're gonna do it, bro. I mean, it is what it is. Like, just obviously, just don't be discouraged.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. And actually, right before that, you want to tell them like, what made you go to that gym specifically to be a trainer, and like what qualifies you to be a trainer there?
Yeah. So, I was fortunate. I have a friend who introduced me to his friend that had his own personal training business at Self-Made. And so I applied for the job to be one of his trainers. Yeah. I got the job. It was my first time actually training, period. Oh, shit. And I knew about training myself, but dude, training like other people is a completely different skill that you had to acquire. And it took a lot of trial and error, but I became pretty decent at it. I'd say after several months, like things didn't really work out with the guy that I was working for. I had to go off on my own. So starting fresh, barely had any clients. And so, I mean, thankfully, like there were people there that like supported me, and it really helped me develop into the trainer I am today. And, by like, getting walk-ins or people hitting me up on Instagram, sometimes even like on Yelp. Yeah. I was actually able to build more of a clientele. And like I said, it was still a trial and error process. Some of the best, I think, coaches and trainers out there have been doing this for years. Yeah. 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, you know what I mean? And I've been barely doing this for, I'd say, I think like a little over 2 years. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm still a little bit new. At Self-Made, I've just built myself to be the strongest trainer there. Oh. And that's mainly just because I do powerlifting. Oh. You know what I mean? So, and I kind of like that ideology of like, just wanting to feel stronger, the kind of pass on to my clients as well. So like some of my clients, actually a good amount of them, are super happy when they're like, hey man, I just PR'd on this for X amount of reps, or hey, this is the most weight I've ever touched in my life.
Yeah.
And the thing is like I told you in the beginning, they're focusing on trying to be strong and trying to feel good. And in the end, bro, like they're like, hey, like this is actually the most amount of muscle I've ever put on my body.
Yeah.
My body fat's actually like this. It's way less than it's ever been before or when we first started. I'm like, dude, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of like really just focusing on the aesthetics initially, I'm just trying to focus, like get you to focus on just feeling good. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Are you able to say how many what do you call it, clients do you have?
Currently right now, I think it's about like 13, 14.
13, 14, yeah. Dang.
So at one point it was like 20, like in the 20s. Yeah. But it's been a pretty slow period for me.
Yeah.
So right now I just need to work harder as far as just getting the clientele that I really want.
Well, here it is, man. If you guys want to get a fucking good ass trainer right here, a coach, hit him up, dude.
Please do. Just let me know what you guys need, and I'll do my best to actually go ahead and help you guys out.
Yeah, yeah. And dude, like honestly, I've known him for a long time, and I'm telling you, he knows what he's talking about. And if he doesn't, he's gonna figure it out. You know what I mean?
100%.
There's a lot of people at the place that he works at. Like I said, dude, it's an expensive place for a reason, right? It's not because of the product of the machines or whatever. It's the quality of the coaches that are there. You know what I mean? So it's expensive for a reason. They know what they're talking about. And once again, like if one person doesn't know, there's other people there that they can probably ask, questions, stuff like that from it, right?
100%.
So yeah. Would you say it's a good career field?
Yeah, I'd say
like good money.
So
like
I would say I would say if your goal is to make a lot of money doing this, because you think that like the payout's gonna be great, that's when you might have to step back and kind of reevaluate. And the reason why is, dude, I think like the average trainer, I think on average makes like around like $30,000 a year.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's like not that much. Now, can you build a system in place to where you're actually making like, let's say in the six figures? Yeah, you definitely can. But I'd say like if you'd have to be really passionate about helping people, and getting into shape. And if you're really passionate about that, then yes, I think you can definitely be like, hey, like this is like I've been doing this for like a long time. These are like my qualifications. And this is how much I charge. Yeah. And then people are like, hey man, like I would definitely pay that price. Cool. But like if you're just money hungry, and let's say, or this is actually a huge misconception, just based on like the way the person looked. Like if you saw someone at Cal State Bakersfield and they were jacked and they're like, oh yeah man, I want to be a personal trainer, you'd be like, oh dude, like you would assume like, hey, this person's gonna be a really good personal trainer.
Yeah,
but
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly,
right? Just by looking at him.
By looking at him. And don't get me wrong, like when it comes to like being in the fitness space, how you look does play a role. But sometimes, dude, honestly, sometimes those people are like the worst people to get like advice from. You'd be surprised.
They probably built up like bad habits too, huh?
Like dude, like, you'd be surprised, dude. Sometimes like the people that like super jacked, super like just diced, they have horrible habits. You know what I mean? Like, or they have like a really like not, like they don't have the best mindset as well, and like what they're doing. You know what I mean? So how would they be able to train like the average person? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Which is why you should fucking hire Mr. DC right here. Mr. Get Ya Vitamin DC.
Get your vitamin DC.
Yeah.
Good for your health, bro.
Yeah, man. So we talked a little bit about your past, right? Your fitness journey. We talked about, a little insights on the nutrition side. What about training philosophy? The strength and conditioning side. Discuss some principles, methodologies, and science behind effective training. Because there's one thing of, there's training, but what's effective for this person, their body type or what they're trying to achieve, right?
Right. So
and real quick before that, what do you think about my gym bag, dude?
Adidas?
Is it small?
Is it small? No.
Or is this like an ugly gym bag? Do you think I should get a duffel bag? I think that's a lot of people like trending like duffel bags. Is this not good enough?
I'd say I think it's fine.
It's double sided.
Yeah, I can see it.
See,
This dude. I would.
What about my gym water? Dude?
I know damn well you're not bringing that in.
Dude, I take it. You know what gym I go to?
Which one?
Planet Fitness, dude. They allow me to take this, dude. No
You
judgment.
take a 5-gallon bottle.
There's no judgment, dude.
I'm judging the hell out of you right now, bro.
Bro, I can share it. Look, it has a little nozzle thing to share it.
I can see it.
Yeah. So like, if you're thirsty, bro, I got you. I hydrate you too.
Do you really take that in Planet Fitness?
Bro, Planet Fitness is the spot, dude. Judgment free zone. They can't judge me.
Bro, they're for sure judging the hell out of you. They're for sure judging the hell out of you. Yeah. I'm letting you know. For sure.
What about these right here? Have you ever used these?
Those are what?
Wrist straps? With the metal?
Me, actually, no. I've never used them.
No?
No.
What do you think about them? Any opinion?
I think they have their place for sure.
Yeah.
Me, just because like of what I do, at least for like powerlifting, I just chalk it up and then I just go for my set. So I really don't use like wrist wraps.
You see, we don't do that at Planet Fitness. We can't use chalk at Planet Fitness.
You guys can use chalk at Planet Fitness?
It gets too dirty. It gets everywhere. They don't even allow you to carry bags sometimes at Planet Fitness.
Bro, why don't you just switch to a different gym?
It's because it's cheap, bro.
Yes, dude.
It fits within the price range, man.
How much you pay?
30 in total with me and my girlfriend.
For a year?
A month.
A month?
Yeah, a month.
Bro, you might as well. Oh, no. I feel like you should just go to like 24 or something like that.
You see, my girlfriend had 24. I think it just sucks here in Long Beach.
Okay.
The location that the 24 is at, it's on a busy street.
Okay.
And then the location for the parking lot, you have to get a ticket to get in, and you're on a timer. You know, same thing as Planet Fitness, but it's a lot less crowded of the Planet Fitness where it's at. But there's a Gold's Gym, like maybe a block away from that Planet Fitness. But again, it's just super expensive. Everything is just expensive right now. So that's why I'm kind of taking the cheaper route. You know, I follow Sam Sulek. You know who Sam Sulek?
I do, but the thing is, I haven't really looked into.
No,
not really. Like, dude, honestly, I'm really bad at when it comes to just like looking at other like fitness influencers,
other guys, or what?
No, other fitness influencers in general, bro. This guy.
You see, that's kind of where I got all my information. I feel like that's where a lot of people get their information, right?
Okay.
They follow these high. You see, you like the transition. You like the transition.
Yes, I did.
This is where a lot of people get their information from, right? And then going back to the philosophy, right, of the proper, training philosophy of, how the strength and conditioning. I feel a lot of people get their information from there. When you were talking about misinformation, what kind of, information should you like really pay attention to? Like, how do you know what's right and what's not? Like, that's what.
Well, in today's age, especially when it comes to misinformation, I think you just kind of have to do your research and go for people that have high integrity, at least in the fitness space. So it's the reason why I admire people like, let's say, Layne Norton, or people like Mind Pump.
Larry Wheels.
I haven't really watched too much like Larry Wheels, but I mean, I've seen some videos here and there, and he looks like he's someone that just keeps it a buck. That's like, just being 100% honest.
Bradley Martin.
Honestly, when I saw Bradley Martin initially on Instagram when we were actually at Cal State Bakersfield. That's when I actually first got on his page, and dude, super strong, very athletic. I think I just stopped watching him because he would just do these. It transitions from him being strong to him making more content that was tailored around like just kind of being like a troll.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm holding 2 girls in my hand and I'm bench pressing them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like doing really absurd stuff just to get like the views. And that's when I'm like, I'm not really about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I think, unfortunately, a lot of people go for what will catch their eye immediately.
What about Sebum?
So same thing with Sebum. Like, I haven't really watched too many of the videos. However, like I've seen him like, let's say, talk about certain things, and honestly, I think same thing. I think Sebum has like a lot of like high integrity.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
and so like I have respect for the guy. You know what I mean? But it's just this kind of people that either will try to sell a certain product or try to like get people to share the ideology at the cost of the individual.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm like, dude, like I can't do it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't like it.
So what do you think about like since we're talking about sebum, then what do you think about like him making his own products? Like he has his own isoprotein. I think it's called itholate because he has a lisp, you know. So it was pretty clever marketing. He calls it itholate, pure itholate or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he also has like 3 different types of pre-workouts, stuff like that. What do you think that's like him pushing, just trying to make money, or?
Yeah, no. The thing about sebum is like he has I think a good amount of credibility. I mean, obviously he's like what 5-time, like, you know,
Olympic classic physique,
right. So he's built himself to a certain degree. I mean, if his supplements, like if he's saying like, oh yeah, like this supplement will help you do X, Y, and Z, and it's like it's like research backed, and it's like, hey, like that stuff actually does that. Yeah, cool. By all means, or like sell your product. What I mean is when people try to sell a certain narrative to get people to buy in, I think is the one that's a problem. And it's false. It is extremely false. Is the one actually I like the biggest problem.
That's true. I had that problem with I don't know if you know this content creator. His name is FouseyTube.
I think so. He was doing like a little bit more pranks, right?
Yeah. So back in the day, when I first like started watching YouTube, this was like when it was barely even known of, right? It was Fousey and Vitaly. Okay. Those were the people that I was watching because their content was like funny, like comedy type content. 100%. But he went through like a whole bunch of like transformation videos, you know, of like him gymming and then he falls off, then gymming again, then comes back in like a month or 2. Right. And obviously it's due to steroid use, you know. Oh, I hit the unmute button. My bad. At least we know the audio is working.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, he went through like all these transformation videos. He was saying he's not doing steroids and blah, blah, blah. But clearly, I mean, going from like weighing and looking fat to being completely shredded in like a month or 2 months or whatever. I mean, obviously he wasn't like super overweight. He wasn't like 300 pounds or something like that, you know, but he was always like a lean person. But then going from, overweight to shredded, and then to immediately, like when he gets shredded, he got sponsored by like a I don't know, it's like he was in an advertisement where he was doing push-ups and stuff like that. Yeah. And then he started selling like his pre-workouts and gym t-shirts. And then that shit went a waste after that. Like, that's what you mean, right? As in kind of like fake content in a way.
I mean, like, yeah, if let's say, like I said, I don't know too much about it. So let's say if he's like, he gets, he was overweight, but then he gets super shredded. He's like, oh yeah, like because I used this pre-workout, I was able to do that. But let's say like the pre-workout doesn't necessarily help you with that. Then, obviously like you're just trying to sell your product at the expense of like the consumer.
Yeah.
No, I think, when it comes to like fitness professionals or like just influencers, I just think honestly, just keeping it a buck, with your audience will honestly make you stand out. Where it's like, hey man, like this guy's actually really like he's really genuine. Yeah. He's not trying to sell me something. If anything, he's just kind of giving his information away for free. And if I want to buy in, I can. To say like if I want to like build more lean muscle mass or want to drop body fat. Yeah. If he's telling me like, hey, like I have some diet advice for you. This is what I would recommend you do. Cool, you know what I mean? Like, but there's just certain people out there, unfortunately, and they're like extremely popular. They have a super high following. Yeah. On like all social media platforms.
Like who? Call them out.
I ain't that dude, bro.
The Trent twins or what?
See, like, thing is, I don't really know too much about the Trent twins. I mean, like, I know who they are, but like, I don't really watch like their videos.
Well, what about I know what are some people that you kind of like watch and stuff like that?
Where I can like take my information and it's like good information.
Yeah, let me reword that question. Who is someone, doesn't necessarily have to be an influencer, but who is somebody you look up to that like kind of made you, follow within that footsteps or body type or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, I think when it comes to as far as like let's say nutrition or just fitness information, like I said, like Lane Norton, I think is a really great one. And then honestly, one thing about him too is that you can kind of look into is he has like this segment called What the Fitness. So he'll actually call out different people for saying like just absurd things, and he's like the research doesn't show that, like you're lying.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So Lane Norton's a great one.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna actually say that for me too.
I think his IG name is BioLane.
Okay.
Yeah. Lane Orton Mind Pump is a great one too.
Okay.
That's a really, really great information. Let's say NCI.
What about Greg Doucette or whatever his name is?
Same thing. I really don't even watch.
No,
I really don't watch his videos.
He was
bro.
like a old school bodybuilder.
I do know who he is. Like,
oh yeah,
like
you
super
know
hype his voice. Super hype his voice.
Yes.
Like, there's like the natty or not videos.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
He also calls out like some stuff like that, like false information, like that. The studies doesn't show that, you know. Like,
yeah, and so like I mean, he does that great. But yeah, like I don't really watch him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will say like as far as why let's say I want to start to be so strong, I'd say like someone like Russ Wool. You know what I mean? Like Russell Orhe, who's like I think like I want to say like a 5-time national champion.
How much?
And a 2-time world champion.
How heavy was he?
Bro, he competes in like the 82.5 kg. That's like 181 pounds. But he squats like over 700.
Oh shit!
You know, like and he can deadlift like close to 800.
He's 181 pounds.
181 pounds.
Dude, he's lighter than me. What the fuck? Holy shit!
Bro, I'm telling you, like he just has like he has great genetics. And he has great proportions.
Yeah.
To pull it off, like he's Nigerian lifters.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, bro, it's true. Nigerian lifters, dude, I swear.
Oh, dude, yeah. Tell me why. Like sometimes on TikTok, I'm scrolling through the videos, and some Nigerian guys. They're like 3 guys usually on a video, and they're
what
like,
kind of videos you watching, bro?
Relax, it's not that kind. It's on the For You page, all right? That's even more weird. Actually, hold on, cut that out.
No, we're keeping that, bro.
Anyways, dude. What their content is based off of, like, you don't need a gym to work out to be a bodybuilder. They got like logs of wood or like tree trunks or whatever, or they even got like they make it out of cement buckets and they're just fucking gymming in their backyard. Dude, that shit's fucking crazy. They're fucking shredded. They're yoked, bro.
Yeah, I mean, even then it's like, well, for one, you take into account their superior genetics.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And number two, like, I mean, obviously I don't know where it's filmed. Do they have a point where like, do you need a gym to be like built? Not necessarily. It does help.
Yeah, it does.
It does freaking help. I'll let you know that right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So what is the body type that you're trying to get to, or have you reached that goal yet?
No. Kind of like I told you before. You know, I have my own problems with body dysmorphia, and even though people at the gym may say like, "Hey, man, you're freaking built," or "You're big," or etc. Like,
pause. Yeah.
Yeah, like it. I don't see it myself.
Yeah.
And so, tell the truth, I don't know if I'll ever reach it. Tell the truth, bro.
Really?
Yeah. No.
100%. What is the goal you have in mind though that you would want to be? Even though you think, because that's how it works. That's how body dysmorphia works, right? You might have reached your goal already, but in your head, you're still like, I'm not there.
Yeah,
I'm not there, dude. I'm not there. Like people, like for example, I was working out at Planet Fitness. Somebody came up to me too. Oh shit, I gotta undo the door right now. But people came up to me and the same shit. It was just like, they were like, oh, you look big. And I'm just like, I'm not there yet, you know? Hold on. Sorry, it's my girl.
Yeah, no, you're good.
She's happy.
I bet.
Just came from the gym, actually. This is DC.
How are you doing?
John Clement, my girlfriend Hazel. But yeah, dude, like same thing, man. So somebody came up to me and even now, man, I feel like I'm fat, bro, and I think it's just body fat. I've never had like, well, I did when I was vegetarian. I was dieting like really fucking hard. I was cooking 3 times a day, fresh organic food, using butter, and for the most part, I would stay away from like meat because I was vegetarian, obviously. Right. And I would use a lot of soy products. I'll try to push a lot of proteins and nuts and all that stuff. And that's when I had a flat stomach. I think now that's the reason why I still have or I still look at myself and I'm just like, damn, I don't like to see my belly. I'm big on top. I like that. I like the way my chest is shaping now, but I don't like my stomach, my gut, and I want my legs to be bigger too.
Right.
It's just weird, dude. But that's how body dysmorphia works, right? Like, once again, we can say someone says, oh, you're already there. You're trying to reach this goal. You have a picture in mind. and people are telling you you're already there, but you're not. You know, in your head, you're not.
Yeah.
Right. So what's the goal in mind for you? Like what's that body perfect picture in your head?
Shoot, honestly, bro, is just to be more built, but I need to, but not to the point where I look like a freaking huge ass bodybuilder. That's number one. Number two is
like also, you can't wipe your ass type shit.
You feel me? Yeah. Exactly. Scratch my back if I need to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like also want something that's like I want to be like more athletic at the same time. Going back to let's say like what I believe in, let's say my philosophy is be strong but still be able to move. You know what I mean? I think when we prioritize, and honestly, bro, like anyone that's gymming, anyone that's listening to this right now, I think if you tried this, you'd be like, honestly, yeah, that's probably me. Majority of them. If you strength train, and let's say that's all you do, and I'm like, hey, bro, like let's go ahead and like let's do a pickup a flag football game. You cannot tell me that you forgot how to move.
Oh.
It is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? Like unless you're doing things right now where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm always on the move. I do play sports in my free time, etc. Then yes, that's built in. But if you don't do that stuff, bro, like you can't tell me like you're like you'll it's almost like you forgot how to run, you forgot how to jump, you forgot how to move a certain way. You'll probably even get injured, you know, stuff like that, right? So
you're not stretching, right?
You're probably not stretching that way, right? Yeah. And so that's the reason why like I want to be the power lifter that I'm built. Let's say I'm lean, but I'm still athletic. I'm still able to move. I can jump. I can sprint, etc. That's what I personally believe in.
Can you jump high?
I can jump a decent height. You know what I mean?
Like, have you measured it before or no?
No, I have not.
Do you do like those box jumps at the gym?
I haven't done them since like last year.
You think that's bullshit?
No.
I
think that can help. That can potentially help you. Let's say jump a little bit higher.
Yeah,
100%. But no, I don't think box jumps are bullshit though.
Really?
Now, like if let's say you're just using it, let's say as like maybe a form of hit cardio, I don't think you're gonna be able to jump higher necessarily.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Come here. Come up. Yeah. Bringing up Bradley Martin again. Did you see his videos of him jumping out of the pool and stuff like that?
Yes, I did. Which is why, like, crazy, I was like, bro, like this guy.
That was his startup, huh?
Yeah, 100%. And I was like, dude, like, in my personal opinion, I think he should have just kept doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
100%. And I think he just like he kind of wanted. He obviously went away from that. You know, bench pressing in the middle of the road. I've never seen like a video like that. I'm like, bro, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
dude? And that's a crappy thing to stay relevant. It's almost like you gotta do something that's sexy or something that's eye catching.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what is this? And like you as the consumer are looking at it and being like, well, what the hell does this do for me? You know what I mean? Like, really? I mean, like, yeah, like it's eye catching. You might save it, or you might like it, obviously, right?
Molly, stop.
And unfortunately, I think like, you know, Bradley Martin, and I think some and other like fitness influencers kind of fall into that trap where it's like, hey man, like for me to get these kind of likes and views, I gotta do something crazy. You know what I mean? Or something that stands out.
And what I think is even more crazy right now is that he's coming up a lot on like vlogs that are relevant. Like for example, there's Neon, little kid, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
But he said it before in like several of his podcasts and a lot of his videos. He said it before that his money maker, his bread winner is his gym. So in my head, I'm just like, then you don't need to do all those like how you said, like bench pressing in the middle of the street or, you know, bench pressing girls and stuff like that. You don't need to do all that. I mean, maybe he did at first, but now like you don't have to continue that, you know, now give knowledge and information to your viewers, you know. I think that would be pretty important.
Right. I mean, like I said, I haven't really watched him, so I don't know if he's still doing that. I do know like there's been YouTube clips and like sometimes his clips from his podcast will come up. Let's say with Neon or like other people that he's like, you know, that he's interviewed. Yeah. I know like he was going viral at one point saying like, oh yeah, hey, I'm 260. You know, like, and these are people like that are saying like, oh bro, like if we were to do jiu-jitsu match or like a or let's say a boxing match, they'd be like, I'd win. And Bradley's like, he's like, bro, but I'm 260 though.
Yeah.
And like that went viral for a minute.
It did go viral, but he also started training in jiu-jitsu. And I think the comments and stuff like that were getting to him, then that's the reason why he started doing that. But I watched Bradley Martin since he first started, like his vlogging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fousey Tube is actually the one that put him on.
Okay.
So when Bradley Martin started, and like throughout his videos, it was very informative. Everything was very informative. Everything was all about the gym, how to get a proper form, technique, and all this other stuff. Great information, dude. He even used to have a I don't know if he's like a chiropractor or whatever, but some guy would come there, very, very well known. I think he retired early because he made just really good money.
Yeah.
But he would go to Bradley Martin's gym and adjust people at his gym. He would adjust Bradley Martin. But I think at a certain point, I think it probably got to the point where he was just like, oh, it's just all content based, all the looks. Let me get my looks good and blah blah blah. I think that kind of started slipping off. But so let's go back to the topic though, the strength and conditioning. What are some I guess pointers you can give to the audience here about strength and conditioning?
Yeah, so in the beginning, right, like strength and conditioning is just meant to increase like your physical performance, and let's say based on your assessment, I'll let's say prescribe like certain lifts for that. So honestly, tell you the truth, Brandon, it's just I think just trying to feel strong, but appropriately. Don't do anything that puts you at risk, and obviously don't get injured.
Yeah.
So I think just kind of honestly just focusing on the compounds, squats, deadlifts, bench press, overhead press. I mean, even hip thrusting, etc. And doing certain movements that can actually you're gonna add as accessories to that to actually and increase that performance, right? So let's say for bench press, for instance, let's say, all right, I want to also work on getting bigger triceps, working on my back, etc., to help me eventually bench more weight. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So that's at least for me, that's what I believe in. Really focusing more on the compound and just getting people strong as hell. I mean, I do that for myself as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are some common myths that you would say in the fitness industry?
Shoot, myths. Shoot, I don't know. I think if I had to guess right now, I'd say kind of like we talked about, saying certain supplements will help, knowing damn well they really don't.
What about ashwagandha? What do you think about that? Do you think that actually does help with your testosterone? What about testosterone boosters? Do you think those actually boost your testosterone?
The things that you're gonna find, let's say over the counter, or actually I'd say mostly over the counter. No,
like fat burners.
Fat burners don't do anything. Okay. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think fat burners just suppress your appetite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Guys, keep in mind, a lot of stuff that's marketed to you won't really do things for you. Not really. I think there's always someone coming out with a quick fix, and it's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck. And I think you got to be the one to just kind of put in the work, honestly. Yeah. And you have to ask yourself the right questions, bro. As far as okay, well, am I eating what I should be? Am I eating what I should be eating? Am I getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep? On a regular freaking basis. You know what I mean? Things like that. And I think when people are like, "Oh, dude, well, I'm fat and nothing helps," it's well, bro, I've seen you. You know what I mean? I've seen you and I've seen your habits. That's the reason why you're not. That's the reason why you're not making any progress whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you're trying to find hey, well, crap, it must be my test, bro. I'm going to try these tests, but just no, obviously it doesn't work, or these fat burners, or whatever the case may be.
Trying to find an excuse on why they're not doing it when it's right in their face.
It's bro, you haven't really done the hard work.
Yeah.
To actually get the results that you actually want.
Here's a big one actually too, and I didn't realize this, but a lot of the liquid stuff, even sauces, a lot of those are where you get your calories from and your fats. And I feel like a lot of people drink their calories and their fats without even realizing how much they're actually intaking. And then they go and eat another big meal, and now they're doubling up on what they actually should have within a day,
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, at times like that could be the case. Let's say if you're having like a salad and the dressing that you actually put on it will like boost it, like raise the amount of calories that you had on it.
Yeah.
Going out to eat on a regular basis, I mean, obviously you don't know like what they actually putting in, like the kind of oils that like let's say that they're using, which can add like obviously just like more calories like to your meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like or let's say if you're trying to like drench your food with like let's say barbecue sauce, or I'm using ketchup, or
Yep.
whatever the case may be, like yeah, that can definitely add calories to it. I wouldn't say like it's like the end all be all, but I mean I'd say like one of the best ways for you to know like what you're actually really getting is honestly I'd say mainly just sticking to whole foods. If you're able to stick to whole foods and let's say you do a pretty good job, tracking your macros, for instance. I'm not saying you got to do it forever.
Yeah.
But if you track your macros like on a consistent basis, you'll know exactly where you're at. If you're mostly like eating food out.
That's a good advice that you said. Stick to Whole Foods. Whole Foods actually has like a lot of low calorie kind of stuff, right? They also have like ready to go food that you can just pick up and grab, but it tells you all the information there pretty easily.
Yeah, anyone's listening, if you notice when you go into a grocery store, notice that like the whole foods are usually like on the outer aisles, right? So like if you're all right, I want to go for like bread, I want to go for meat, I want to go for eggs, milk. That's usually like on the outside of the aisles, right? Go in the inside aisles. Well, like what are you finding mostly?
Like snacks, candy,
mostly the processed
chips,
foods, right? That you probably shouldn't like. Keep in mind, bro. Like it's very very easy to overeat your calories when it comes to super like highly processed foods, super like palatable foods. That's just very easy for you to binge on. And like what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of money has gone into just engineering like how well these things taste. And so it's easy for you to like one order can turn into freaking 10 in a matter of like a few minutes.
Yeah.
Right. They even put it like a lot of money in just like the way it even looks. The cut like not just like the product itself, but let's say the wrapping. Or like let's say like when you take a bite, like you hear that crunch sound. Like you mean like stuff like that. Like they spend a lot of money into that stuff. So you can imagine when like let's say like I come in and like, hey, I would say if you're really trying to like let's say lose body fat, I would just try to make sure that these things are not really in the house. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But yeah, like if you notice when you go into the grocery store, like most of the Whole Foods are like on the outer the outer aisles, and that's where I would say that's where you should probably
stick to.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But keep in mind, like, and I'm never gonna tell a client to like, hey, drop all the crap that you like eating, because like, well, how realistic is that? And it's just all about developing a plan where it's like, okay, we're just gonna try to make a few adjustments, and then we're just gonna kind of add to the diet a little bit more.
Yeah.
As far as like, hey, I noticed that your protein is lacking, but I can tell that you love eating red meat. So how about we do this? For this meal or like these 2 meals, I kind of want you to eat like 8 ounces of red meat on this, on these things. I mean, I haven't really changed anything. I just made like a small adjustment to that. And let's say over time, like, all right, you're able to do that. All right, cool. I've noticed that, dude, like you don't get that much fiber, and that actually might be the reason why you're so constipated. So how about we do this, man? Like maybe before every single meal, we just try to add like some Metamucil. Okay. Or for this meal by itself, I want you to add 1 cup to 2 cups of, let's say, mixed vegetables. It's all about just adding small habits. And over time, they become extremely, extremely habitual to where you don't even have to think about it. At the end of it, bro, like I said, this could take freaking months, but it's all a process. At the end of it, bro, like you've noticed that your habits kind of slowly switch to, let's say, the amount of junk food that you're eating to not eating more whole foods.
Yeah.
But we just did it like extremely slow. Like I said before, I think one of the reasons why people like fail in their diets is because they're like, oh crap, like, you know what? It's a new year, for instance. It's a new year. New me. All the crap that I was eating, out the window. I'm just going to go ahead and start eating like, more greens, more fruits, more whole foods. And that's fine. That's great. They actually might start seeing like some progress.
Yeah.
It's just super hard for them to do because they just went like
cold turkey, right?
100%, 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And right into it. And like in a couple weeks, they're like, bro, like this is freaking hard. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I see that a lot. A lot of content creators that I follow that are like gym addicts and stuff like that, they kind of say the same thing where they're like, when you diet, you don't necessarily need to stop eating the foods you like. You need to stop eating the bad stuff that becoming a really bad habit, right? Say you really like soda and you're drinking 5-10 cans of soda a day. Well, then you got to stop doing that. You can drink one and it'll definitely cut down like your habits right there and then. But that's like, but another thing that I saw, and you tell me this, but it's the substitutes, right? There's a lot of substitutes. For example, I got a habit of liking carbonated drinks, not necessarily soda, just carbonated drinks. So I do substitutes. Everything that I like that's originally just carbonated. So for example, Coke or I don't know, like energy drink, stuff like that. Right. I get the substitute of 0 calories, 0 sugar. What do you think about that? You think that's still good?
Yeah, really help 100%. And I even think there's like a research paper done that, let's say, I think a diet drink was more effective at fat loss than water. You know what I mean? So making those slight changes, but you still kind of get to enjoy it. I think it's very, very possible. 100%.
Okay. What about the other myths? I all this is just coming up as we talk, but the online like calculators for like your macros and your how much percentage of fat and protein you should be eating, all that. Do you think that's all like accurate, or you think it's all just like bullshit, like websites just trying to get you to click on it just so you to use it?
I mean, that honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I would say, I think if you consistently, like, if that's something that you always default to, and that's a starting point for you, I don't think necessarily it's like that bad. And like honestly, bro, there's a lot of ways for you to come up with your BMR, like certain equations you can use. You go on, like, let's say like on a macro calculator and see like, all right, these are how much calories I should be eating, etc. My advice to anyone is, if you really want to find out where you're at, is track your food, track what you're currently eating right now, like whatever the case may be. So if you're the person that's like, you're like, all right, I'm out eating all the freaking time. If you really kind of want to know, you want to have an idea of how many calories you're eating per week, track your food every day for like a week to maybe 2 weeks. You'll know like where you're probably at. You know what I mean? Same for any, like a person that's like eating, let's say they only eat like once or twice a day.
Okay. And
let's say they eat like a bird. Well, that would give me a good idea of like, dude, you said that you want to lose weight. You're only eating 2 meals like 1 to 2 meals in a day, and you're struggling with weight loss. But you want to like, hey, yeah, I should cut calories. I'm like, whoa, no. I was like, because keep in mind, honestly, your body will do whatever it needs to do to keep you alive.
Yeah.
And so if you're eating like, let's say 1 to 2 meals in a day, your body's gonna be like, all right, we need to
store this, huh? Right. And
I wouldn't necessarily just say store it, but your metabolism will drop.
Oh shit.
Right, to match that, for you to stay alive. If you're eating 1,200 calories per day, like, what is your body gonna do? Like, all right, well, we need to make sure that you don't move around as much. So like, we definitely need to become a little less efficient with these calories.
Shit, yeah.
You know, stuff like that, right? So like, that's why that's super, super important to actually know. If you really want to know where you currently are at, track your food for like a good week to 2 weeks. And if it's like, let's say if it's like, all right, Cisco, you're eating 4,000 calories, and you're like, dude, like, I did not know I was eating that much, right? If you put yourself, let's say, in a 500 calorie deficit, you'd probably lose weight, right? For instance, as an example. But if someone came to me and I was like, hey, track your food for like 1 to 2 weeks, and it shows that they're only eating 1,400 calories based on like these other measures that we just measured, I'm like, and you want to lose weight? I'm like, hey, my guy, like, I'm not gonna lie, before we want to like start cutting calories, we're gonna need to bump you up a little bit. Like, we need to like go up in calories before I even cut you back down. Because like, how much of a shitty coach would I be if you're like, come to me like, man, I need to lose weight. I found you eating like 1,400 calories. I'm like, all right, it's all good. Let's just drop you down to 1,200 or like 1,000.
Yeah,
bro, you're gonna feel like shit.
Yeah,
you'll feel like shit, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think a lot of inexperienced, let's say, personal trainers or coaches will actually do that. And not to like the fault of them. They honestly probably just didn't know.
Yeah.
Some other people, that for them to get like a quick result so they can post it, let's say on Instagram, and advertise it, if they know what they're doing, then obviously they're just like a shitty person.
That's fucking interesting. I didn't even think about that too. Like you have to bump up your calories to like make your body be at least normal, somewhat working, functioning better, and then bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, like eventually, 100% right. So, shoot, what was I about to say? Yeah, like so. There's times where you'll get someone, and for them to like get a lower body fat percentage, if you feed them more appropriately and over time, and they're working out, what's going to happen? They'll build more lean muscle mass, which means your body fat percentage will become a lower percentage. You get me? So obviously, like sometimes the answer isn't just always just going straight to cutting. Sometimes you got to build yourself up and then cut down.
Okay. Yeah. I think my problem is that I eat a lot. I like to eat, dude.
Which honestly, which is
big portions.
Yeah, which is fine. So I'd say like for you, like, you know, for instance, I would, if you're not doing it right now, I would just track your food for like a good week to 2 weeks. Don't change anything. Just to see where you are or where you're at. Like, so if you're like, oh, you know what? I actually eat 1,900 calories a day, which honestly even isn't that much for you.
Yeah.
But let's say that's actually the case. You'd be like, you know what? Actually, I need to kind of slowly bump up a little bit. You know, like every week to 2 weeks. You know, by like, let's say 50 calories or 100 to 150 calories. And you're doing that over time, but you're feeling great. And let's say your body fat didn't even change. Let's say anything, actually, let's say because you were working out, it actually your body fat actually dropped a little bit. It's kind of what you want. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the starting point. Like find out how much you're currently eating.
That's crazy. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's move on to the next topic here, dude. I don't know how much time you got left, but
like 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay, cool. We'll make it quick then. Actually, we can make an ad break here real fast. If you're still watching here, Cisco's podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Hit that bell notification to let you know when we go live or when we post a clip or when we post a highlight or a reel. I really appreciate you guys sticking by and watching. A lot of this is going to be on the other social media pages as well, such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and also Spotify. So don't forget, if you guys like the content, follow those pages as well. You can also follow my boy here, John Clement. He is a strength and conditioning coach at
Clement training facility.
There you go. Here in where? What city?
We're in the city where we're in now.
No. What city?
City of Orange.
City of Orange. There you go. You can follow him on social media at where?
Mr_Getcha Vitamin DC.
Yeah, not Mr. Gravity. I don't know why I was looking at that. But yeah, man, make sure to check out his content. We're going to talk about his content right now once we're done with the ad break. Once again, hit that subscribe button. If you guys want more information about fitness, feel free to follow his page. He has a lot of content based on that, on, you know, strength and conditioning, gymming, and, you know, him actually, you know, with some of his clients and following that process with them. So feel free to check out his page, all his videos, drop a follow, subscribe, and back to the show. Alrighty. You like that or what?
Yeah, that's pretty funny, bro.
So now going back to your content, bro. What made you want to start that?
Before I get into that,
okay,
what is your girl making, bro? That smells fire.
You know what she's making?
Is that cookies?
Nope. She's making homemade McGriddles, from McDonald's McGriddles. Yeah.
Oh, God bless you.
Does it smell good? Yeah, she knows how to cook,
it smells
dude.
Good, bro.
She knows how to cook. Hold on. Let me see.
So let me check that out real quick.
Hold on. Well, it's because she was making it the other day, and bro, I'm telling you, that shit smells good.
It smells extremely good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Whoa, it's slippery in there. No, I think it's my shoes because they're new. But yeah, that's what she's making, dude.
That's fire.
We can make. We're making you one too, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna fit in your calories, talking about that, but
yeah, I'm pretty hungry.
It's good,
so
good as fuck though. You know what I mean? What were you gonna say before we talk about your content?
Yeah, no, actually, that's what I wanted to say.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was, huh? That's a bomb, huh?
So as far as content goes, I think the only reason why I started doing that is just to get my name more out there. That's the only reason. I don't even know if you remember, bro. Like, but even back when we were going to college, dude, I would rarely post. Maybe like,
yeah, dude,
once, maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like, it wasn't really my thing.
Well, it's because your focus was more on school and gymming, dude. That's what I mainly like remember.
Yeah.
I was like more in the party phase, I guess at that time. I was like 17, 18,
Yeah.
When I was in college, I was 17 years old. I didn't know anything, dude. So I was just like, I want to experience and explore, and I fell off from there. But, I got back up. But
right.
That's all I remember is just you were just focused on, dude, that whole gym stuff. Like, honestly, I remember when we would go to, I forgot what it's called. It's like that grill area to go eat.
Oh, like, was it like
Rowdy's? Yeah, there you go. Dude, you were still all about it, man. I remember you would carry your water, you had your backpack with you all the time, and you would always be either having your meals with you, or you would even say like you would go to Flame Broiler.
Yes.
I remember that. That's 100%. One advice that you told me that I remember. You said something about that they have like a lunch special. They used to have a lunch special at least.
Yeah, I think so.
That it was on specific days of the week or certain times of the day that they would drop their prices, and they give you a bowl with, protein, rice, the carbs and your veggies. And you're like, dude, if you really want to work on some fitness stuff, like your dieting is probably like the first thing you should kind of look at.
Right.
And if you have like a really, and that's one thing I kind of want to mention, like if you really have a bad habit of eating out a lot, I think one small subtle change you can do is like, instead of going straight to McDonald's or Carl's Jr., change it up just slightly, go to a healthier version of like, I don't know, like a fast food chain. For example, Flame Broiler is a little bit healthier, you know what I mean? They give you a shit ton of rice. You don't have to eat all the whole thing, but as long as you get the proper nutrition, it's good. Even McDonald's can be healthy, if I'm being honest. I recently started getting the chicken McGriddles, and they're just plain. It's just chicken and the McGriddle, the bread, and they're like 320 calories each. So, and that's another thing, is just look at the calories that you're intaking, right? There's another one that's 2 something, and it's sausage McMuffin or bacon McMuffin or something like that. They're also like low calories, but once again, it's the liquid, right? If you use a lot of dressing, ketchup, ranch, all that stuff, that adds calories, like a shit ton of calories.
It can definitely add it. Like, I mean, it's still fast food at the end of the day. And at times, this is what I do tell clients too, is like at times, even though like they'll have it on the menu and say like, oh yeah, it's only like 300 something calories or it's 200 something calories. Sometimes like that can be skewed. And like I said, if you really want to know exactly what you're getting, I'd say the best route is making stuff at home. Like, your girlfriend, for instance, making this at home. Yeah. She'll probably know, like, she knows exactly what she's putting in there. You know what I mean? And how much you're probably getting if she wanted to measure it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's usually like, that is the best route. Now, of course, I mean, having like, going to McDonald's or anywhere else here and there, it won't kill you. Yeah. I mean, like, you really craving that burger, by all means, go ahead. Like, you still want to live and enjoy life and, enjoy your food at the same time. So like, I even tell my clients, I was like, hey, if you're going to dinner, or there's a family party or whatever, like, hey, it's all good. Like, enjoy yourself. Like, I would say just make sure that we got most of our steps in, or make sure you got most of your protein in by that time. Yeah. Did you work out that day before? Great. Honestly, man, have fun. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, if you can do that, then all good.
That's another good one, right? A lot of, and I used to think this way too, but it's like, damn, I'm not losing weight and I'm trying to eat healthy, blah, 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 but I keep eating out. That's what constantly goes through my head, right? But I'm also like, well, another thing you can do is like what you said there. Well, did you go to the gym? It's like, you can eat bad or you can eat a lot, but if you go to the gym, I mean, for the most part, it'll take away some of the calories that you had just eaten, like if you put in a good amount of cardio, if you put in a good amount of strength and conditioning training at the gym, you can burn off maybe like a meal or something at that point, like that you had just eaten that day. No.
Yeah. I mean, to a certain degree,
and it's better than eating that meal and not working out,
not working out.
Not doing any of that.
So, I mean, and you know, if it's not like the most healthy thing for you, I'd say like, you know, just everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Like in moderation, like you said before, there's like certain substitutes you can make if you are going to McDonald's or going to In-N-Out or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Is there certain like ways that you can still like get that flavor in and you can still like, you know, you still kind of eat what you want to eat? Yeah. To a certain degree, yeah, 100% you can. And I would just tell my clients, hey man, just try not to make it a habit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't like, if anything, the habit we're trying to make is just you just having a healthier lifestyle that will last you for years on end. That's the goal. It's not to give you a diet plan and you can only do that shit for like freaking 3 months and that's about it before you kill yourself. It's like,
that's true.
All right, what's sustainable for me and what can I do like long term?
That is true. All right, going back to your content stuff then, like what made you, you know, start all that? Because like we were talking about earlier, you weren't about that. You weren't really about like posting what you're doing every day, blah, blah, blah type stuff.
No.
I know you said it was like trying to get your name out there, but how do you like that? How do you like, you know, the having a post and edit? Like, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Dude, honestly, dude, it's super stressful. Me personally, I still don't like it.
Yeah.
A lot of you, bro. No, it's creating the videos and then having to edit them, edit the way that you want to edit them is a lot of work, as you know. Like, since you're like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So honestly, bro, it's annoying as hell. I don't like doing it. I just know that I have to do it for business. And
how often do you post?
So I try to post like twice a week.
Twice a week?
Twice a week. Every week.
No way.
Yes.
I post twice a day, every day.
And that's good. And honestly, bro, you'll be able to reach that a lot faster than I will. 100%.
I don't know about that, man. It's tough, dude. It's tough.
It's tough. You know, but like obviously, like, you know, you've had like, you said like what, 13 episodes, 14 episodes now?
13, 14 episodes, over I think over 150 videos posted so far across all platforms.
Right.
Because, you know, posting two videos a day. It's only been like 2 months going on 3. So yeah, posting 2 videos a day every day. It's tough. Sometimes I miss a day, but I do it on purpose because sometimes I post a video and I don't know why, but it's like the algorithm doesn't catch it. Like if it was posted, so I only get like 2-3 views on that video, and then I post. Since I post 2, right? So I posted 1, and then the second one gets posted right after, and then the second one catches the algorithm, and it goes like fucking 1,000 views, 2,000 views. So I'm just like, how does that make sense? But yeah, sometimes it gets frustrated. So then I skip a day to try to refresh the algorithm, and then I go again. But
yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like I said before, it's great that you're posting like 2 videos every single day, and I think you continue on this wave. Yes, eventually, bro, like it'll turn into like, dude, like we're getting hundreds of thousands of views, we're getting this amount of likes, and we're getting these amount of subscribers consistently, per month, and that's a grind. Me, is just like, I don't record that much for me to be, you know, posting 2 videos a day, and on top of that, like, I feel like at least for me, let's say whether it be on TikTok or Instagram, is not the end all be all for me. It's just like, all right, well, you know, I think this looks good, I'm just gonna go ahead and post this, and that's exactly what I do. And yeah, there's times where it does really, really well. Other times, like, not that many people viewed it or saved it. And honestly, it is what it is. That just kind of just means that I might have to pay attention to my analytics a little bit more and kind of see like what actually works. But I have seen my long form content work a little bit more, as far as like the times where I'm lifting with the homie at the gym. And it's just like us just kind of engaging back and forth. They see me squat some heavy weight, or they see me deadlift some heavy weight, and people are like a lot more engaged. And I get a lot more comments on that. I get like a lot more shares and saves on that on those kind of videos. So that means I think my personality will speak more volumes, and they kind of just see like a real person, like, you know, behind the screen. What
do you want your content to be based on?
Honestly, bro, just like I wouldn't want to say necessarily like day in the life, but just kind of seeing like, I want people to just kind of see like how I coach my clients. So like obviously like there's one client I have, her name is Tao. The reason why like I consistently like post her is because she just makes it like super fun, and usually like I usually have a big gap after her, so it's just easy for me to record her. And it's either that or it's just like kind of just me just being a powerlifter, bro. Me being a powerlifter and like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing today. And like even just kind of like just having different things I kind of want to talk about in front of the camera. Whether that be through lifting, Dude, I've been getting a lot more in like the, like, let's say dating, for instance. Not like me personally dating, but like just talking about dating topics.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which are like super, super fun.
Yeah.
And like when it comes to like the gym. So I've actually made like a point where I'm asking, and it doesn't have to necessarily just be around dating, it can just be around different things, but I have like a question of the day. And I actually wanted to start recording like those kind of conversations I actually have with other trainers, bro. It's super dope.
That's pretty cool. I feel like you can do it too right there at the gym. I mean, dude, you got the environment right there of the gym.
Yeah.
It's so I see your videos, and it all has like a specific theme, and it's due to the gym that you're at. It's so fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like I wish I can have that. Obviously, this is my setup right now.
For now,
you know what I mean? In Kansas, I had a different setup. I had a whole room, like a studio room and everything for it. But yeah, like this is what I got for now. I'm hoping to grow bigger. But talking about growing bigger, where do you see yourself, you know, in the future? Like, where do you see yourself going, even with your channel, with your coaching, stuff like that? You like that transition too? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at this, dude.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Right?
Yeah, dude. I've been doing it since 2017, dude. YouTube. I've been vlogging. I was vlogging then, and then I did streaming, and streaming didn't really like work out that good, but it taught me a lot. And I feel like I'm putting all that into this podcasting stuff. And that's why I wanted to ask you, like, where do you see yourself going? But also, how did you get all this information to, like, you know, edit and post and, you know, cut like clips to make them try to get viral and views and all that stuff?
So where do I see myself going? I honestly definitely want to be more well known, let's say in like the powerlifting space and the strength and conditioning space. Powerlifting space for one, just because I'm not saying necessarily at the elite level, but sometimes you can see it at the elite level. Other times, like in the local level where I'm at, or you know where I'm competing.
Yeah.
And so, dude, I just see like a lot of athletes, bro, like with the most horrendous form when it comes to, let's say, executing like their big lifts, and still. And then even let's say they succeed, it's like still applauding it. And I think as a coach, and when I see like, you know, breakdowns in form, it's like, well, I don't necessarily want to applaud it. I'm just like, hey man, like we want to make sure that, you know, your technique's still there, even at like your hardest sets. And I know like some people might, you know, argue with me where it's like, well, bro, it was a 1 rep max. It's okay. And it's like, no, dude, like at a 1 rep max, your technique should be there even more so.
Yeah.
To make sure that you stay safe and you're not messing anything up. You know what I mean? So like I want to be well known more in the powerlifting space, and obviously that's going to take me doing more competitions, me winning a lot more.
Yeah.
And me like eventually going to like a national competition and winning, or me going to worlds, and I would have to be plenty strong.
Have you won anything yet? Have you gone to anything?
Yeah,
yet?
No, I've won multiple competitions. I recently
I seen some of your videos too, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just asking for the video. You know?
Recently, I'd say like last year in July, I competed in my second national competition.
Nice.
And I got second place like in my weight class.
Okay.
Which freaking sucks. If anyone knows me out there, like they know I'm super competitive, so second place is like garbage to me.
That's still pretty cool though.
Yeah.
To say that you even got there and you fucking what do you call it? You placed, right?
Yeah.
That's still pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. So that's just like I guess those are kind of requirements I have for myself.
What are your PRs, if you don't mind me asking?
Right now I've PR'd at a 600-pound squat, like a 405, 407 bench press, and
407.
Yeah, because like you know we use kilogram plates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shit. And a 700-pound deadlift.
Oof.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's currently where I'm at. Recently got injured, so unfortunately, like I haven't been able to to lift like the past couple weeks.
What you injure?
I definitely I think I pulled my back for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was
what were you
first
doing?
Deadlifting.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro. But I mean, like it was kind of my fault, bro. Like I didn't have the best sleep. I honestly, I feel like my nutrition wasn't even there as well. And my squats that day didn't feel the best, and that's when my body started feeling kind of like iffy. And I think deadlifts just kind of finished me off. So it's just a combination of different things. You know.
And
what I mean?
How'd you feel? What was the feeling of when you're like, yeah, like I fucking pulled something or what?
Shoot, when I deadlifted the weight, bro, like I just felt like a crack.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. And I put the weight down after, and I was just laid on the floor for a cool minute.
Sheesh.
It was just really hard for me to just kind of like bend over, like pause. It was it was really hard for me just to like to do that, bro. And
Yeah, my bad.
yeah, it's really hard for me to do that, bro. And so like I got my back to work on. I got it worked on, and I mean it does. I feel
Pause.
like, shoot, bro, that's another one.
Yeah.
But
You went to like a chiropractor or whatever?
no, this guy I've been seeing like for years.
What?
But he do like two very excruciating sessions. I would say I'm probably about like I'd say like 90% there now.
Shit.
So honestly, I'll probably start working out like this week for sure. I'm gonna,
Sheesh.
yeah, like I'm
You gonna push through?
dude. Social media just is super horrible when you're like injured because you started seeing like all these different people crushing weight, squatting heavy weight, doing whatever they like, doing whatever, and it's like I don't need to be seeing this
Yeah.
because I can't really lift like the way I want to.
Sebum actually posted today. I saw a video. I think it was a video or a picture. He posted himself flexing in the mirror, and he said that so he got injured. I think a week or 2 weeks before he had to go up on stage. And he said on his post today that whenever shit like that happens, he gets injured. He like takes everything away from like he says he doesn't really like, look at his competitors, and he doesn't try to get his motivation from that. He's like, one, it's a distraction, but also it's like, I want to focus on what I'm doing. And it's crazy that you mentioned that because it's like you can see like at his level of like being a Olympic classic, 5-time, 6-time, champion.
Right.
And you have that mentality too, where you're like, I gotta get all this out of my eyesight. That's pretty cool.
It definitely did not help for me to see that. So that just it did like put a fire like in me. I guess you could say, and just like all right, like once I feel like 90%, 100% better, like I'm getting back into the weights. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I forgot what the second question was, but I can't remember.
It was like, where do you see yourself, but also where do you see your content going now?
Right. Honestly, the content is just mainly just giving more people just information, bro.
Mhm.
Like how the gym atmosphere can be, like how it can be super fun, like hiring a really good coach or trainer. Learning how to do certain movements, for free, pretty
Mhm.
much. So like just giving out free knowledge. Just get out as much free knowledge as possible. If people see me as valuable enough, they can ask me questions. Let's say they, DM me, go ahead and answer questions. And if people want to work with me, they can, like in the end.
That's really
So
cool.
the goal is definitely just to become more popular, more valuable through my content.
Okay.
And just kind of be just well known in the fitness space. And just like people like Lane Norton or like Mind Pump, Andrew Huberman, etc. Just people that have high integrity. So I never want to say anything that it's meant to mislead people, and I'm making a buck from that. It's more like, hey, this is information I have, and if I don't know something, I'm not going to pretend that I do know something about it and give out false information.
Yeah, that's a big one too, by the way. Yeah. That's really cool. I forgot. I was gonna ask you one more thing before I come up with this topic, this next one, and I'll try to make it short because I know we're running out of time. So, but I guess we'll just dive into that topic that I wanted to bring up. What about steroids? What do you think about that? Have you ever taken steroids?
No.
The reason why I ask is because I know people watching, bro. Like, if you see yourself right there, dude, you look fucking built. You know what I mean?
See, the funny thing is, you look at that, and I'm like, bro, I look so freaking small right now.
Really? You think
dude,
so? Well, it's because you're
100%.
kind of like leaning back too, so it's like the camera angle.
Yeah.
So if you like sit up and stand up, like, bro, you're gonna look fucking jacked, bro.
Even if I did, bro, I feel like I still look small.
That's that body dysmorphia.
It really is.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's not good.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about steroids?
For steroids, so for me personally, I've never taken them.
And like SARMs, right? Because SARMs is another one, another form of steroids that's kind of like almost legal, or it's like up in the air right now.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, me personally, I've never taken steroids or SARMs, and do I like? Would I ever? No, unless like I had to. You know what I mean? But I can understand why both like men and women actually do take them, because during the come up as far as like being a powerlifter and getting stronger, did it really like enter in my mind, like and plant a seed 100%. And the reason why is because, like I said before, social media can be the devil, and you're seeing these people that have been in this. Let's say they've been powerlifting for years.
Yeah.
And I honestly haven't been powerlifting that long, but being like, bro, like they're my weight class, they're doing that amount of weight, and I need to catch up.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it tempting? Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
but
tempting.
I think more in the long term. I think more in the long term where it's like, well, how will I be years from now when I'm not powerlifting anymore? Or how am I going to feel?
Like that guy, Rodman or whatever his name is.
Ronnie Coleman?
Is that his name? Yeah, he's like
in the wheelchair, like right now.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, but like Ronnie Clement like ran, like he put his body to the ringer, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like, that's probably like for people that blast like steroids or maybe even SARMs. Me personally, my view is if you're going to take it, what I would suggest is try to figure out what your genetic potential actually is. And what I mean by that is put in the work. And this is gonna like require years of you putting in the work.
Yeah.
Through dieting and doing like all the right things and pushing yourself in the gym appropriately. But I think especially when it comes to young people, I think a lot of people just don't want to do that. And I think they're looking for a way to achieve that physique in a less amount of time.
Yeah.
No matter what the costs actually are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my personal opinion is like, bro, I was like, unless you don't, like, if you're not telling me like, hey, I want to step on stage and this is what I want to do, or I want to be like a very extremely strong, unnatty, powerlifter, strongman, whatever the case may be, then I was like, okay, I get you, understand. You're trying to compete at that level, completely understand. You know the risk, you did your research, cool, go ahead and do it. But bro, like if you just say like, hey man, like I'm just trying to be big, for what reason? You know what I mean? Like what's the reason behind it?
Yeah.
And you really don't have like the best answer for me, then I'm like, hey, honestly, bro, I would probably just kind of hold off on it. I'm never gonna look down on someone for taking it. Now when it comes to SARMs, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think a study actually recently came out that some of the SARMs that like people take, the funny thing about it is that they're not exactly what people are taking.
What do you mean by that?
So it may say like, let's say the bottle that this is what is included in this, right? But if you were to test it, the actual product, those things that it says that are actually in the bottle are actually really not. It's something completely different.
Oh shit.
100%, right? So, yeah, honestly, bro, like my personal view on it is, me personally, like, would I take it? No. And if someone wants to take it, I would just tell them like, hey man, I would just, for one, do your freaking best, work super hard, figure out what your genetic potential actually is. And if you feel like it's still not good enough for you and you want to dive into that, do your research. If you need to go to like an actual professional that's done it and they know what the hell they're talking about, I would consult them before actually going and doing it.
And also, I want to say this though about that. It's just be careful too, because like just because they were professionals and they did it doesn't mean they know all their information. You know, they could have been taking like fucking, like how you said, they could have been taking SARMs that has like these other chemicals in there that doesn't necessarily say it on the bottle, and they didn't even know because they didn't care. They didn't really do the research, and they could just be like, "This is what I took. Here you go. You should take this too."
Yeah,
and it can affect you in different ways.
Yeah. So, and when I'm saying like professional, I'm talking about like people that are like, it's not like, I'm not saying like they're experienced to the point where they just were just taking it. No, I'm talking about the people that like they actually know exactly like the science behind it.
Yeah,
they know the research behind it. They say they can look at lab work, etc., to know exactly what's going on in your body. Those are the kind of people I would probably recommend talking to if you're going to go that direction.
I kind of want to do that. That's why I wanted to bring up the topic. I kind of want to go down that direction, just because I've seen my body change over time. Like I was in military school in high school. I was lean, but I feel like my genetics is not capable of getting the body shape that I want. Right. For example, like I want to, obviously, I think this is like pretty much every guy, but at least majority or some guys, I don't know. I want to be lean, but not super lean. But I also want to have like my abs. I want to be built up on top, built on my legs.
Right.
And that's about it. Like I want to have a lean waist, everything else pretty built, but not like fucking huge.
Right. So maybe like, so let's say you're gearing more towards, let's say like a classic physique competitor.
Yeah.
Or, you know, something like that. And honestly, that's admirable. The reason why I'd say like I would probably abstain from, let's say, taking steroids is because based on your history and what like I know about you from like the couple hours that we used to actually spend here on the couch, is I just think that you don't necessarily have like the best information right now and how to actually like get the physique that you want. And so, like I said before, a lot of people fall into this trap. They're like, hey man, I think I could take these steroids or these arms and that would get me to where I need to be. But the thing is, like, with the wrong, like, let's say you could achieve that naturally, it just might take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I think if you have the right information, let's say you had a good programming and you had like a better diet that you can sustain long term.
Yeah.
Someone tells me that you probably get the physique that you actually wanted.
Think so?
Like, I honestly, bro, I kid you not. I kid you not, dude.
Shit, man.
You know what I mean? Because like I said before, I think more in the long term. And in the long term, let's say you like it so much that you stay on it. Bro, like I know people like that, bro. Yeah. Where it's like, oh yeah, bro, I'm gonna do this for like, you know, a couple months. I'll be off. But they love the gains, bro. They got super strong. They got super jacked. And like, bro, like, I'm not stopping. But then, like, you know, what are you risking? Well, let's say
your health, your heart.
It's true.
That's the, like the main thing right there. You're risking your health and your heart is the main one for me, right? Most people think that, especially when you're taking supplements to like grow, you're only growing your muscles. Well, you're growing a lot of organs too. Like your organs have muscles, for example, your heart. So some of the guys that have died, they died of heart attacks and all that stuff, but it's also because they grow their muscles around their heart and their heart grows. Okay. Sometimes when that happens, your heart doesn't pump as efficiently as it did before. You know, sometimes your heart is bigger than your body, or sometimes your heart is smaller than what your body is supposed to be. So yeah, it affects your body in many different ways.
Yeah. So yeah, I would honestly, bro, I'd say like you probably I would just put in the word naturally.
Here's my thing, right? Then after this, I guess we can close this off after. But here's my thing. The way I see it is, I don't see myself living a long life, but I want to live a better life, in my opinion. Okay. I think I'm like kind of like up there and like willing to take the risk, but also with precaution, right? Like I always, since I'm in the medical field, I feel like I always look at my health too. So it's like, I know, okay, this is not normal.
Right.
So, and a lot of people that do take steroids or want to take steroids, you guys don't really look at that. You're just more of like, I'm just going to take that just for the gym. I think that's where you should be careful, right? Do your research, you know, like you were saying, talk to the right person.
Right.
And know that like losing fat or weight or building muscle, a lot of it, the majority of it is dieting, right? It's not really the gym, right? What do they say? It's like 80% dieting, 20% gym or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Which I mean, I get it. Like, or when they say like, oh, you know, abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, so like, it honestly it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think even for you, Cisco, like, you know, you may believe that, let's say you won't live a long life, but honestly, bro, like I'd say if certain habits were to change now, I mean, you could, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
my guy, like you could definitely make that happen for yourself. It just takes you just doing it. You know what I mean? Like that whole like what's a like that one saying that's going around now where it's like one day or day one you choose. Hey, bro, I mean, like today could be day one. Tomorrow could be day one, and you just doing certain things where it's like, hey, you know what? I want to live a more fulfilled life, but I also want to live a longer life. And the thing is, bro, is like you got people around you that are banking on, even if you don't realize it, that are banking on you being here for a while.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, I would say make it like it's up to you, to want that for yourself. Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to strive for that. That means I owe it to myself to lead a healthier life by, yes, you're ready to go into the gym. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm eating like more things. I'm sleeping on time. I'm getting plenty of sleep.